Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm finally showing you how to wire up your reverse camera to your Android head unit. So let me show you how. Right, so this is the new head unit that you've purchased on the website. So I'm just going to show you how to wire up your reverse camera. So first up is just make sure it's open again. Just like that. Actually, we'll get this out of the way just so I can show you properly how to do it. So take this out. Right, so here we are in the guts of it. Okay, so depending on the head unit that you get, you'll have different wire harnesses. Okay, so this is the canvas one. So it's going to look a little bit different, and just the standard original head units that just comes with one harness, and there will be a little brown wire that comes out of it. So with these canvas ones, it will be this brown wire. So that's going to be the trigger wire, okay? So let me just get this out of the way as well. All right, so you'll get this wire. So it comes with the yellow end bit and the red one. Now this will be your very long wire in the kit that needs to run to the back of the vehicle, but we'll get to that in a second. So firstly, you'll receive this wire here. So I'm just going to plug it out for now, just to show you guys. So this is what it looks like. All right, and at the back of it, it says camera. So as you can see, that's the camera wire. So that gets plugged into the other yellow one. These two blue wires, you don't have to do anything to that. And then the red wire needs to be spliced into this brown wire. So like I said, the other harness will just have a little brown wire coming out of it, and the canvas one is just that one. That's your trigger wire. So once you put your car into reverse, that's going to trigger it to go into reverse mode, into the screen. So I'm just going to plug that back in there. Perfect. So let me show you now what you got to do with this very long wire and how to wire it to the back of the car. Okay, so with that big long black wire that needs to go to the back of the car, the easiest way to do it is to run it from the head unit straight through the dashboard here, up into this seal, and then you just run it along all the way to the back of the car. So basically what you need to do is undo the screws of the handles, front and rear, just so the liner can drop a bit, and then you can squeeze the wire in behind it, and it's a nice and neat install. So yeah, I'll meet you at the back. Perfect, so now that you've wired it all along the roof lining to the back here, what you want to do is make it come down, and it now needs to come through this grommet so it reaches your back spare tire. And we also need to connect it to the tail light. So to get to the tail light, all you got to do is undo these two screws. So let's do that quickly. Next up, you want to access your rear door and to take it off. So 1 and 2, and then there's just the 2 bolts that we need to undo to get to the spare tire. Next up, what you want to do is remove your tail light. Now this is an aftermarket one, so it might be a little bit different, but same principle applies to the factory light. So you're just going to take that out. All right, and then let me show you how it's wired up. So essentially what you want to run is a positive and a negative wire. So I just made a hole there, poked it through so it reaches the spare wheel. All right, and that is essentially just wired to, black is obviously ground, and then the positive was wired to reverse wire. So once you put your car in reverse, that's going to give power to the camera, and that's going to allow it to switch on. So same thing with the factory tail light. So go ground to ground, or the body somewhere, and go positive to the reverse. So it gives power to the camera once reverse is activated. Perfect, so let's show you where this wire then goes, the positive and the negative, to the camera. So you've undone the 2 bolts there, so now this one will flick away. Right, so that wire that I've talked about, I've poked through the grommet over there, as you can see, along with the other black wire that comes from the front of the head unit. So that's the long wire that you've just run through the whole car. So 2 wires is now poking through there. Now, as you can see, so this was the long wire that's coming from the head unit. so that meets the other RCA, so the yellow one. And then there's also a positive connected to that. Now that positive is going to this positive that you've now connected to the tail light. So this is the tail light one, this is the head unit one. So the tail light is ground, goes to the ground wire of this one, positive goes to the positive of the tail light, and then this is the wire that comes from the reverse camera. So essentially it's just a reverse camera and the wire running through, and then as you can see it just connects here. So the black and the red connects and the two yellow one connects. Alright, so once that is all wired up, you should now have full power to the camera. And let me show you how I've wired the camera. So if you just want to have a look in there, you'll see I've just tightened it up with one bolt, and that is plenty strong enough to hold it. So that is how I've done it, because you can't really put screws through because there's not enough room for it to grab. So just the one screw with a big bolt and a washer will keep it nice and steady. Right, so once your head unit is now turned on, it should have full power when you put it into reverse. There you go, triggers it, and there you go, reverse camera activated. So that is awesome. Now it might not work straight away. If that's the case, you just tap on the screen, go to settings. You can adjust your brightness, contrast and saturation, but go to the camera. If it's not working straight away, camera settings. And then as you can see, there's a few different, I'm going to call it frequencies or signals, all right? So say for instance, it was on this one. As you can see, it's not the right frequency. So just go through them. But the one that works for mine is, I believe it's this one. No, it's the AHD, I believe. Yes, so the AHD 1080p, 25 frames a second. And if you also want the ruler, you go, there you go, reverse ruler line. So that is off and that is on. There you go. So now it's all working, and if you go back to other gears, it's just going to work as normal. So back in reverse, and there you go. And it's very nice and clear. You can see everything, so that is great. And you can obviously adjust the camera at the back if you want it facing down a bit more or upwards or whatnot. But yeah, overall, it's all working perfectly. And there you have it, guys. That is how you wire up your reverse camera to your Android head unit. So it's very easy and nice and simple. Obviously, if you have any other questions and you're not quite sure how to do it just yet, just reach out and we are happy to help. But yeah, very important to know is the brown wire is the trigger wire, not the blue ones. And if you just connect the brown wire to the red positive, connect it to yellow RCA cables, everything is fine at the front. Then you move to the back, and then you just make sure it's connected to your camera, of course, and then ground and positive is connected to the tail light to give the actual camera power once it's switched to reverse. All right, that sounds very confusing, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, make sure to ask. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching and all your support. Appreciate it. See you guys. Bye.